Well, hello and welcome to today's show. Today we resurrect what really by all rights and privileges should be an e-waste laptop, the one that quit on me last year that sent me scrambling, putting stuff together. That one. We're working on that one. And I tell you why when we return after rolling the title. Now when you see this, we'll probably be in the middle of summer, but it was shot in the spring, and when I was working on this, I put it together on the kitchen counter by the sink, this whole laptop, and I couldn't see because it's a dark colored laminate countertop, and we get these tiny little black ants the size of grains of salt. I don't see very well in real life. I didn't see it, so I got some taking apart and working on it with those ants in the screen, and it just doesn't look good. But I'm old and I can't see where the crap. 63 years old, can't see them. When I got them on the video editing rig, I could actually see them, and it looks like a Yogi Bear and a picnic where the ants are coming in to take his picnic basket away from him. But what did it cost to do this, and why am I doing it? Well, since we've already replaced the roaster's machine out of the parts we got out of last year. Well, it's pretty simple. I want to do some XTU, translating it to the BIOS on the B, show you how I do that kind of stuff. Maybe it makes sense, maybe it won't make sense, but I can't screen capture the BIOS. OBS Studio, NVIDIA, and CyberLink, the screen capture software, all of those ride on an operating system which isn't loaded when we're in the BIOS. So how are we going to do it? Well, first thing, I'm going to need a splitter. We're going to take out of the computer on the monitor that's going to have the BIOS in it. We're going to run it to a splitter. We're going to run one side of the splitter to the monitor so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to take the other side of the monitor and run it into the dongle. It is a HDMI dongle to USB screen capture device on the laptop. I need a laptop for that. It wouldn't have to be a whole lot, and I can use it for other things such as backing up the roaster. Although the roaster, I run 2 drives in it. One periodically, it's about 8 years old. I copy about 4 times a year. I'll make a copy image off of the larger 240 gigabyte onto the old 120 gigabytes. We just bought a T-Force 3D Team Force Vulcan, they call it, 3D drive, $55 for the new SATA drive. I can't put anything in it. The machine's that old. The splitter, the HDMI splitter, cost me $11, and the DisplayPort cost me $44. Other than that, while I was at it, I did buy some cheap Amazon type of USBs so I could kind of get all of my operating system together, my jump drives, to put them in there, and then that way I don't have to do the manual load up. So I've got a couple of those set up. That I didn't count in there. I'm not really counting the $10 I already spent on last year's budget. When I put the 8 gigabyte sodium in there, we're just going to reuse that $10. So anyway, let's go look at what it looks like. But let's check out the performance of this, looking to see if we got all of our SATA 3 performance out of that drive, considering that funny little cable that we have to use to connect inside of that HP laptop. Ooh, look at that Mesozoic period crystal disc mark on that brand new drive. Ooh, that is like some serious e-waste we have going on there. There's some hamster fire there. We could throw it in a lake, but that would be turtle death. Well, here we have it. Our drive eventually came in. It is a T-Force Vulcan Z. It's a 3 level instead of a quad level. 1 terabyte instead of half a terabyte on that rotating Toshiba disk. So we're in good shape. Got it put in there, got it connected. We're getting ready to put the back on there, but I'm going to tell you what, It's just as simple as pie now if we can just get the operating system on it. What do you think? Oh, by the way, there's my $10 SODIM right there. See right next to the fan? I just hate to throw $10 away like that. If you like this content, please go to calldeltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. There we go. Copying Windows files 10%, and we'll check back when we're done. And if it will stay focused, we are getting there. Installing updates. We are rebooting, and man, does that screen look dusty now. How about that? Setup is starting. We're going to finish up. Loading up, getting ready. Now it's running through the scripts. We're going to get it done. How about that? Oh, heckers, checkers. I went away to take care of some other business, and it looks like it's going to be done. I just hate to throw $10 away like that. Well, unfortunately, even with the display on, it does appear that we can see me in the background with the telephone videoing this old E-Waste computer. Now, this is the computer that we were using. It had been cycled out of real estate for obsolescence. It is this old that it has a Pentium inside. All right, 10-year-old computer. We were using it for the data logging on the roaster. This hard drive died, which is a 2015 year issue. So we replaced that with a hard drive, a solid state SATA hard drive in this old box, put the operating system on it. Now it's still slow as it can be, but it will work as an emergency backup for the roaster. Why bother with the 1 terabyte SATA drive for this machine? Well, mostly because they're so darn cheap. I mean, we're not even really using these much anymore. And it doesn't make sense to buy something smaller than that. I've got that old 120 that's 8 years old. I may replace it. I have a little plan here for doing some moving around of operating systems. I also didn't put in the cost of getting a new license for the Windows 10 Professional, but that gives me a license for Windows 10 Professional, Windows 10 Home that I have here, Windows Professional, and of course the Linux Mint, the Ubuntu. So I've got those little drives set up, easy to set up when I'm moving things around. Hope this was worth it. Yes, it's a dog. It's going to be a dog, but the real value that I'm spending the money for, yeah, I could use it as backup for the roaster, but really it's just to do that capture of the BIOS. And I haven't tested that yet. I'm still waiting on some cables, a couple of cables that haven't shown up yet. But I want to get this video done so that we can get it pushed out to the servers. Because I haven't actually posted this yet and the date is way off into the future, I thought I'd go ahead and tack this on. Now, this is something I'm seeing a lot of lately. By the time you see this out in July or so, hopefully the ill behavior from the Chinese governing authority throwing tariffs that are one-sided against us, and of course our president's not having any of that mess right now. We're having something, but this is before that. Before this really started. So here I have a cable that I ordered. Now, if there's one thing that irritates me about someone is if they tell me something, I feel like they're telling me porkies, or they're just outright lying to me to get to trick me into doing something. I don't like that. I'm not saying that happened with this product that you see right in front of you, but as of today, I do see a revised date where they're just like 2-3 days out, even for the cable that I'm going to show you there in that bottom right hand corner. It says, what's it say? It's still more than 2 days, 3 days out. It's clearly come directly from China, and it takes about 2 weeks to get here. They've updated that a few days. It does now officially say it's left somewhere, wherever somewhere is. But if you tell me in your product description I can have it tomorrow, I'm assuming it's in a local warehouse, right? And whatever price I pay you, it either needs to be discounted special cheap for the extra wait that I have to wait to get something, or it can be a little higher price if I get it the next day. But don't tell me I can have something the next day, which will influence my decision and then drag something out 2 weeks. And then when I go to complain by writing a review, I get a message that looks like this that says, we're holding out to verified purchasers. Well, by gosh, by gum, by golly, I purchased it. I haven't received it, but I purchased it. So Amazon once again is filtering bad news so that they only present the good stuff. I'm getting tired of it. I don't know about you. I'm an easygoing fella, but I don't like being lied to or misled.